Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be doing the ultimate garage tour, showing you guys all 5 of my full garages, 50 total cars worth multiple millions of dollars. I don't even know how much in total all these cars are worth. Also, happy 4th of July to everyone celebrating that, Independence Day. That's going on right now for us in the United States, but wherever you are in the world, hopefully you're having a great day as well. But that's why I'm dressed up in this festive attire in game. So before I show you the first garage, I just want to let you know that I'm kind of OCD. So I've got the garages broken down into individual categories, and I'll explain them as I go along. Now, one last thing before we do start, remember these are my personal vehicles, and everything in this video is subjective, just like it would be in your garage. And at the end of the day, it's cars in a video game, and I just want to show them off to you guys. So just keep that in mind when you are watching this video. And also, if you think Rockstar needs to add a 6th garage in game, be sure to drop the video a like, because as you'll see here, I've got no more space in my garage, making it very difficult to have any new vehicles in the game. But without the way, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. So this first garage is entirely consisted of supercars. Here we go. I'll show it to you guys right now. So this is the Supercar Garage. Like I said, it consists all of supercars, some old, some very new, and this is the garage that we're going to be starting in today. So I'm actually going to go in first person right now so I can show them to you guys a little bit better. And we're going to start with the Grotti X80 Proto. That's right, so here's the Grotti X80 Proto, one of the brand new supercars that was just added into the game. I've got some crazy like crew paint job on there. It's like a peaches and cream and a yellow pearlescent. It's one of the crew colors I've actually got applied to some of these cars. You'll see some of them as we go along. This one is one of my favorite. It's also got the white trim on the wheels, and it's also got the white accent color on the inside. The Grotti X80 Proto is one of the more unique designs just because of what you can do to it. Obviously, this is one of the sleekest cars in the game. I've got the crazy spoiler on there. So that is supercar number 1, Grotti X80 Proto. Moving on to supercar number 2, more of a simple design, the Pfister 811, based off the Porsche 918 in real life. I haven't done anything with the wheels. This is the topless version. Now, it looks a lot better, in my opinion, when the windows are rolled down, but you can only do that if you get in the car and you like point your middle finger out of the car window. So this is the Pfister 811, very simple white and black design. I didn't want to go too over the top with this car because I think it does look better when it is simplified. And for the most part, this car has all the stock features on there, which is kind of what I like. So that's the Pfister 811. Moving on, we've got the Vapid FMJ. This is one of the new vehicles that was added. I've got a blue and cream color and pearlescent scheme and yellow secondary. So the FMJ is not one of the better cars in the game, but because it is one of the new supercars, I do have it in my garage just for now, and I guess for temporarily until another one comes around or until another one decides to be the best one. It might eventually be moved out, but that's the FMJ. Over here, we've got the Pegassi Reaper. Reaper, again, I think this is like a dark red and cream kind of combination going on. So the Reaper doesn't have a lot of customization. I kept the stock wheels on there, which is honestly like the best part of this car. It really does have great looking wheels. So that's the Reaper. I don't see myself using those two supercars all that often, but because they are new, I wanted to keep them into the game. Moving on to some supercars that I actually do use quite frequently. This is the Progen T20. Obviously, it's got some like, candy red and cream pearlescent combo on there. I use the Progen T20 almost all the time. It's probably my favorite all-around supercar. It's got a lot of customization on it. So that's the Progen T20. Probably my favorite all-around supercar once again right there. And right across from it, we have the Osiris with like this lime green racing yellow kind of color combination. So the Osiris was great for about a month, and it still is great, but it was replaced by the Progen T20 as like the fastest supercar. So it is kind of unfortunate those were released so close. The Osiris has one of my favorite features in the game, which is those gull wing doors. So those look absolutely amazing. Probably my favorite part of that car, the gull wing doors look absolutely amazing. So that's the Osiris right there. Followed up, we've got the Zentorno, the classic Zentorno, all the way from the High Life update. This has got some like crazy purpley blue paint job on there with the stock wheels. I think the stock wheels look great because you get that like color around the outside of the wheels. So that looks really great in my opinion. I still love using the Zentorno, and I can win races with it. So I break it out every now and then for races and driving around. And right across from it, we have the Adder. That's right, the Truffade Adder, like my first original supercar that I bought. So this is the Adder. I've got just a matte white and black paint job combination on there. Pretty simple. I don't use the Adder a ton just because I feel like it's outclassed by other supercars. But at the same time, I still like to take it out every now and then. And last but not least, we've got the two Benny supercars. On the left over here, the Banshee 900R. This is Brucey's version from Grand Theft Auto 4. That's why it's so simplified and doesn't have a lot of customization on it. So that's exactly kind of the theme I was going for. Brucey's car from Grand Theft Auto 4, which is a Bravado Banshee in that game. This is just like the Bennied out version. So that's what that looks like right there. And then we've got the Rally Sub right there. We've got the Karen Sultan RS with the ultra famous kind of like Subaru style racing livery on there. The copper wheels, the blue and yellow theme. Really, really cool. I love the Sultan RS, one of my favorite cars in the game. You can see we've got a lot of customization on here. Because it's Benny's car, I'll go inside and show you guys what it looks like. So this is kind of what we've done to the inside. Pretty simple stuff, but we added a few nice modifications right there. So this is my Supercar Garage. As I mentioned, some new, some old. I tried to do some classic colors, some more exciting colors. The supercars definitely have the most, vibrant colors of all the ones that I have in game. So if you like that, these are definitely the ones that you're going to enjoy the most. However, this is my Supercar Garage. 10 pretty epic cars that I do really love. However, let's move on to our garage number 2. All right, so up next, we've got the Sports Car Garage. So I'm going to turn around right now and show you guys what we're working with. So again, the Sports Car Garage is a little bit more simplified, which some of you guys might like, and some of you obviously might enjoy the taste of the more simplified versions. So let's jump into it and let's get it started. I say that in the first car we're going to be looking at today as like a Vice City pink neon paint job. So it's the LG RH8. This is my first sports car, and it will always stay in my garage because it was free. So when I first started the game, I was like, I don't have a lot of money, I need like a nice supercar, or I need a nice sports car to use. So I'm going to go with the free one that Rockstar provides. That's the LG RH8 right there. Right across from it, I've got the Inverto Cocket. I never pronounced that correctly. This is the Bumblebee version. It's the yellow and black one. Pretty simple modifications on there. I'm pretty sure I kept the stock wheels. I've always loved the Stingray version of the Corvette. So I've always wanted one in Grand Theft Auto Online. And whenever I got the money, I decided to go get one. So that's that right there. Moving on, we've got the Bravado Verlier. I never used this car, but it came with executives and other criminals, and I thought it was kind of cool. So I just bought it. Again, I don't know. I don't think the Verlier is a terrible car. I just don't love the look of it, so I don't particularly use it all that often. But it is a sports car that I have kept in my garage. Kind of an unconventional sports car is the Kuruma, and this one is an armored version. I've got multiple Kurumas, as you'll see in a little bit, but this one I've kept in my sports car garage because at the end of the day, it's not a bad sports car, and it's 4 doors. So it's kind of great for transporting people around, and of course, it's armored. These next 2 vehicles are going to take some explaining. So this is the Benefactor Shafter V12. So this is based, I believe, on like the E-Class Mercedes in real life, which is one of my favorite vehicles of all time. So that's why I have 2 of them. So when Rockstar announced this, I was like, man, I love this car. So I got a simple white and black version, white for the paint job, black for the wheels. And then I've got another more simplified version of like a wine red one with chrome wheels. So I really like the Shafter V12. It's also like one of the fastest sports cars in the game, believe it or not. So it's kind of a win-win situation for me. So that's why I like it so much. Moving on, we've got the Massacro, the Debauche Massacro with the racing green paint job with the lime green pearlescent stock wheels. Again, the Massacro is kind of like my go-to racing sports car. Although we'll see, because in a day, the 770 is supposed to release. So that'll be interesting to see if it topples that as like the best car in the sports car category. So that'll be pretty cool right there. That is our Massacro. Right across from it, we've got the new Grotti Bestia GTS. I think the GTS is okay. I don't love it. I think it's kind of a funky design for a sports car, but it is a very interesting Grotti. and I don't think the performance is amazing, so I just kind of use it when I want to take it out on cruises and whatnot. So that's the Bestia GTS. And last but not least, we've got the Dinka Jester race car, which I do like to take out on occasion. This was the first livery car that I purchased, so that's why it still has a place in my garage right here. And right across from it is the Obey 9F. I've always loved the Audi R8 in real life, and this is no exception in game. So it's got kind of a fancy bluish paint job on there. So that's the Obey 9F. It's a car I actually enjoy driving around, and you don't see too many of them on the streets, which kind of makes it cool. So anyways, guys, that's my sports car garage. Again, pretty simple, not a whole lot of crazy stuff going on here. Let's move on and go check out garage number 3. Okay, so this next garage number 3, I call the Armory Plus, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So let's turn around and check it out. And as you can obviously tell, there's a lot of armored vehicles. So that's right, I call it the Armory Plus because I've got like a few non-armored SUVs in here. But this is where I keep all of my armored vehicles. For the most part, there was one Kuruma that I left out in the other sports car garage. But let's get into this. And you're probably asking yourself, Mr. Boss for the win, why do you have 2 Insurgents? You know, doesn't that seem a little overkill? And you're probably right. That probably is overkill. But when the Insurgent first came out and I was using it a bunch, it was getting destroyed. Like, so people would throw sticky bombs at it, RPGs, so it would get destroyed. And I would hate having to call Moore's Mutual to get another Insurgent. So what I did is I just bought a second one so that I could just call that one and I wouldn't have to wait on Moore's Mutual or go to the insurance lot. So I've got this one right here, which is like a matte olive or forest green with the forest green wheels. This one is like a chromed out version. This one is just a giant eyesore, but that's kind of what the Insurgent is, just big, mean, and, you know, very powerful and stands out. So those are my 2 Insurgents right there. I use them pretty frequently, obviously, when I'm doing like CEO stuff or heist missions or whatnot. So that's that. We've also got another version of the Kuruma. This one is red and it's got the black wheels. I think this one's matte red as well. I think this is the Kuruma that I go for more so when I'm doing missions and whatnot. So just because it's red and I think it's a little bit brighter and it stands out a little bit more. So that is that. Moving on, we've got the armored version of my favorite vehicle, the Benefactor Shafter V12. I've got a lot of them. This is the armored version. I really like it. Obviously, it gives us a little bit more protection against bullets and explosives, and it's in an all matte black. You'll notice the theme here. These colors aren't as bright, but that's because they're armored vehicles. And when I think of armored vehicles, I think of like limousines with like grays, blacks, whites. That's kind of the theme I'm going for. Up next, we got 2 versions of the Cognoscenti and Cognoscenti 55. Both of them are armored. This one is a matte gray version. This one is a matte black version. I don't particularly use these cars, but I thought they both look nice. They kind of reminded me of GTA 4 style vehicles, so that's exactly why I went for them. Up next, we've got 2 armored SUVs, the Galavante Baller LE Armored. This one is all white with the black wheels, and it's armored too. I actually think this one looks really, really good as just like a normal vehicle. So I really like taking this one out every time I get the chance. And we've got the Benefactor XLS Armored, which is not only great for protecting you against armor, but is also the fastest SUV in the game. So it's a win-win-win here because you get the armor protection, you get the fastest SUV. There's just so many benefits here. So that's the Armored XLS. And it's also one of the newest vehicles coming with further adventures in Finance and Felony 2. And last but not least, I've got a non-armored version of the XLS, which is all around worse than that vehicle right there. The only thing that the regular version has on the armored version is the price, but if you can get over that, this vehicle is significantly worse, so I don't recommend having this. It's just in my garage because it's kind of brand new. And last but not least, we had the previous fastest supercar, the Anus Huntley S. So if I want a more casual vehicle to go pick up some people or need like a SUV role-playing vehicle, this is kind of the one I would go for. It's luxurious, it's pretty cool, it's pretty big, and it's an overall nice SUV. It's just no longer faster than the Armored XLS. So this is my garage, the Armory Plus. Pretty interesting and pretty crazy, if I do say so myself. Lots of armor-packed vehicles in here. However, we got 2 more garages to go, so let's not waste any more time, and let's move on to garage number 4. All right, guys, we are in garage number 4 now, and I call this one Customs and Classics, and you'll see why in a second. So this is kind of the leftover garage of the 2 lowrider DLCs, as well as some classic vehicles and a few other ones as well, kind of festive themed stuff. So you'll see why in a second. So I've unfortunately been having to get rid of a lot of my cars just because Rockstar has not provided us with another garage, as I kind of mentioned earlier in the video. So because of that, I've been having fewer and fewer lowriders so that I could get all the other vehicles in the game. So these first two ones are, I guess, significant due to the date. It's 4th of July, like I said, when I'm recording this. So I've got the Western Sovereign in this garage, which of course is the American flagged themed motorcycle. And right across from it, I've got the Dukes with the American flag, attachment on the roof. So I have these cars in here because it is the 4th of July, because it is festive. So this weekend I have been driving these cars around, and it's been kind of cool to see the response people have been having. So that's pretty cool. As far as getting into some of the other vehicles, our first two ones are versions of the Vapid Chino. We have a topless version right here. This is kind of like the green and white one. So I'm guessing this would be like the family's version of the Vapid Chino. So overall, it's a pretty simple look. I have no clue what the liveries are anymore, like what the themes are anymore for these cars. It's been so long since lowriders came out, but that's the Vapid Chino. Then I've got another one over here. This one is really particularly crazy as well. It's the hardtop version, a little more muscled out with the intake bug catcher valve right there. So that's that. Those are the two versions of the Vapid Chino. I've also got the Slam Van right here. I actually still like the Slam Van custom version, so that's why I've decided to keep it. It's this like rich blue version with those blue, I guess, 3-spoke stripes or whatever they are. So that's pretty cool. That's my Vapid Slam Van custom, followed up by the Class A Moonbeam custom. I couldn't get rid of the Moonbeam. I like it better than the minivan, so that's the one I decided to keep. I think I got rid of the minivan altogether. So this one was, out of the vans, this one was the one I decided to keep. It's the Moonbeam. We've also got the Buccaneer. So this is the Buccaneer custom. I actually really like this lowrider a lot. It's just got a simple black paint job with the flames. I think that looks really good. Triple intake bug catcher right there. So that is the Buccaneer. And finally, we've got the Voodoo as well as the Primo. Those are the last two lowriders that I've kept. With the crazy like serpent lady, I'm not even sure what it is. I think that's like some, goddess from mythology. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but it's pretty crazy design. I really like it. And then you got the Primo right here. Not really sure what I was going for, but that is the Albany Primo. It's kind of got this like burgundy, red, and white combo right there. So that's the Primo, and last but not least, I've got the Albany Roosevelt, which surprisingly is a pretty rare vehicle. So I've got the Roosevelt. I don't actually have the Valor in here anymore, but I've got the original Roosevelt. I think I liked it more than the Valor, to be totally honest with you. So that's the Roosevelt. That's my customs and classics garage. Some pretty cool vehicles in here. Obviously, some exciting ones with some pretty cool liveries and whatnot. We've got one more garage to go. And I will admit, it is a slightly unorganized one, and we'll probably have absolutely no theme. It's my leftover one, so let's go to it right now. Okay, guys, prepare yourself for this one because this is my leftover garage, and I'm going to tell you this, it has absolutely no theme whatsoever. So this is just where I've kept leftover cars that I didn't feel like fit in any of my organized garages. So here we go. What a mess right here. What a mess. This is just a bunch of random leftover cars. They don't even seem to make sense. Like in the front, we've got an Albany Mañana that looks like it has no customization. A Mañana that has a ton of customization and actually looks really good. It's like, a wine red cream combination. So I might actually hold on to that one. We've got the Turismo R, which didn't seem to fit in my other garage, just a regular Dinka Jesta. We've got a Class A Tornado Custom with no customization. Again, I don't know what was going on here. We've got the Class A Mamba. We've got a non-armored version of the Kuruma, the 811, another Grotti X80 Proto, and then another armored Shafter V12. So again, I have absolutely no clue what the theme here was or what's going on. It's definitely my leftover garage, but it's still a full garage, which means that if I want to add another car into the game, I've got to delete something. So it is a huge, huge issue. So as I mentioned earlier, if you want Rockstar to add a 6th garage into the game, be sure to drop a like on the video, just like my character's doing right now. that would be awesome. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this Ultimate Garage Showcase video. Hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about some of the cars that I've collected over the past few DLCs and obviously 2014, 15, 16. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you did go on to enjoy, like I said, a like rating would be awesome. And as always, subscribe if you guys are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.